breaking news, the U.S. Senate has officially passed a major funding bill, ending the government shutdown that froze federal operations, delayed payments, and sent millions of Americans into uncertainty. This critical vote not only reopens the government, but it also sets the stage for what's next, including key deadlines, funding priorities, and political battles still to come. In this in-depth report, we'll explain exactly what this Senate bill does, who will get paid and when, how it impacts Social Security, IRS refunds, and SNAP benefits, and what Americans should expect in the weeks ahead. The Senate vote that changed everything. After intense debates and days of partisan gridlock, the Senate passed a bipartisan funding bill that officially ends the 2025 government shutdown. The bill quickly cleared the House and was signed into law by the President, restoring federal operations nationwide. Here's what the bill includes: temporary funding through March 2026. Full back pay for federal employees. Emergency funds for Social Security and Medicare administration. Support for veterans, nutrition, and education programs. The vote came just hours before the Treasury warned of major economic consequences if the shutdown continued. What happens to federal workers now? For millions of federal employees and contractors, the shutdown caused missed paychecks and unpaid furloughs. Now, with the new bill signed, here's what's happening next: money back pay will be issued automatically within 7 to 10 business days. Office building agencies such as the IRS, SSA, and VA are resuming normal operations. 1 o'clock overtime and telework policies remain flexible until agencies stabilize. Telephone receiver customer service hotlines reopen with extended hours. However, experts warn that while paychecks are restarting, delayed approvals and paperwork backlogs could take several weeks to clear. Social Security and SSI, no more delays. During the shutdown, there were growing fears that Social Security and SSI benefits could face disruptions. The Senate bill has now secured full operational funding for the Social Security Administration. Here's what this means for beneficiaries: all payments, Social Security, SSI, and SSDI will continue as scheduled. Local SSA offices are reopening for in-person services. Calendar new claims and appeals will begin processing again. COLA adjustments and backdated claims remain on track. In short, seniors and disabled Americans can rest easy knowing their checks are safe and services are fully restored. IRS refunds and tax filings resume. The IRS was one of the hardest-hit agencies during the shutdown. Refunds, audits, and return processing all slowed down, leaving millions of Americans waiting. Now that the Senate bill is signed, Money with Wings refunds and direct deposits are resuming within days. That Where's My Refund portal will update daily again. Tear-off calendar expect a 7 to 14-day delay for backlogged filings. Black telephone #IRS customer support and taxpayer hotlines are back online. For taxpayers waiting for refunds or credits, the reopening is a green light, but expect short-term delays as the IRS clears its queue. Veterans and healthcare programs restart. The new funding bill also includes emergency appropriations for veterans and health services. That means Veterans Affairs offices are reopening in full capacity. Hospital medical appointments and authorizations resume immediately. Veterans counseling and housing support programs are reactivated. Pill Medicare and Medicaid billing resumes without disruption. For millions of veterans and seniors who depend on these programs, this reopening brings long-awaited relief. What's actually in the Senate's bill? This new Senate funding bill is not just a quick fix, it's a stabilization package designed to keep essential government functions running. Here's what's inside: banknote with $1.4 billion in disaster relief funding. Building construction $600 million for infrastructure and rural development. Additional funds for medical research and public health. School protections for nutrition and education programs. Chart with upward trend, a promise to revisit budget reforms before the next deadline. But lawmakers admit this is a short-term solution, not a long-term fix, meaning more debates are coming early next year. What this means for everyday Americans. So how does this reopening affect you, the average American family? Here's the breakdown: housing and rental assistance programs are back online. Red Apple SNAP and food stamps continue without interruption. Tax refunds, Social Security checks, and veteran benefits are flowing again. Banknote with $ small business loan programs are reopening applications. Classical building federal courts and national parks are resuming operations. This means your money, benefits, and daily services are safe, at least for now. The political fallout and what's next. The passage of this bill temporarily ends the crisis, but it opens the door to new political battles ahead. Analysts are already warning about another possible showdown in early 2026 if Congress fails to pass a long-term budget. Key takeaways: warning sign funding expires again in March 2026. Speech balloon lawmakers have promised reforms to prevent future shutdowns. Money bag budget committees will begin negotiations immediately. In short, this is not the end, it's just the pause before the next fight. What you should do now. To make sure you stay informed and prepared, check your Social Security and IRS accounts for updates. Follow official agency websites for payment timelines. Be cautious of scams claiming to speed up your benefits. Subscribe to trusted news sources, like this channel, for verified updates. Staying informed ensures you're protected, especially if another funding crisis returns next year. The road ahead for America. Now that the government has reopened, the nation can begin to recover, but it's clear Washington still faces deep divisions. The next few months will decide whether Congress can pass a permanent budget, how much funding key programs will receive, and whether Americans will face another shutdown in 2026. For now, Americans can finally exhale, paychecks are returning, benefits are flowing, and hope is back on the horizon. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for future updates. Thanks for watching, stay safe, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.